The ACC, Big Ten, and Pac-12 really about to form an alliance? What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Reef, Jack Reefer, and I got another banger video for you guys today. But first off, like, comment, subscribe. Let's be special, baby. Let's be special. So reportedly, the ACC, Big Ten, and Pac-12 have been having numerous in-person talks amongst themselves for forming an alliance. The commissioners have been meeting, the committees have been meeting, the whole 9 yards. They're essentially flirting with each other, trying to get each other to join this alliance group. Now, why might they be doing this? Because they want to fight the big bad SEC. Now, we knew some sort of retaliation was coming. I mean, obviously, you're not going to let Texas and Oklahoma, just two of the largest market share college football teams in the country, just join the SEC, and there's not going to be any retaliation from all the other conferences. We just weren't quite sure what form this would come in. So these conferences, instead of trying to mesh together, they're trying to form an alliance to unite themselves. Now, there's two main objectives in this. One, voting rights and being unanimous on votes, and two, scheduling. So voting, under the new governance model the NCAA is instituting, these Power 5 conferences are allocated votes. So if the ACC, Big Ten, and Pac-12 combined their votes, they have a combined 41 votes. Yeah, 41. Compared to a measly 16 for an expanded SEC, essentially ensuring that they control the direction of college football in the future, and it's not just the SEC running the show. Which honestly, checks and balances. If this is a check and balance for the SEC conference, so be it. Now, from a scheduling perspective, they want to make sure they secure competitive cross-conference games with one another. Now, would this mean that the ACC teams could no longer play the SEC teams and it'd be exclusively ACC, Big Ten, and Pac-12 playing each other out of conference? Details haven't come out about that yet, so we're not quite sure. All this news is reported mainly from The Athletic, so we're not positive what the scheduling would look like right now. But I imagine that they would want to kind of secure exclusive rights to one another, which would look good if their top teams play each other for the college football playoffs and so on. But I think it's just to kind of unify the conferences, get them all on the same page, and try to ensure the survivability of it. Because from a voting perspective, I completely see why they want to keep the SEC in check, because there's a lot of rumors going on right now about the SEC just kind of taking over and running the show, and they're probably about to hold ESPN hostage for a new deal once Oklahoma and Texas join. So that TV money is about to be insane. The revenue is about to be insane. And there's been some rumors, some whispers, no official reports or anything, that the SEC commissioner, conveniently his contract runs out right around the time that Texas and Oklahoma join the conference. So is there a possibility that he may be trying to make a power move for a more powerful position in college football overall? I don't know. We'll see. It's just a theory on my end. I've got no sources, no media articles, nothing to back that up. That's just something that I was thinking about a little bit. I'm just kind of like, that's a little convenient. They'd extend his contract right after he secured Oklahoma and Texas to join the conference, and his contract conveniently ends right when they join. That's a little too convenient for me. So something fishy's going on there. Now, retaliation-wise, we knew this was coming. We knew that they were going to retaliate in some way against the SEC. Because they don't want the SEC taking over. They want to have a say. They want to make sure that their teams are getting into the college football playoffs, getting a chance for national spotlight and that money, essentially. So, it makes sense to me. Now, there's one thing that I found very interesting out of all this, is somebody was left out of the party. And that somebody happened to be the Big 12. Yeah, the Big 12. I mean, they got good teams. Yes, their two biggest teams are leaving, but I mean, Kansas is good at basketball. Baylor's got a dedicated fan base. Iowa State's looking nice this year. So they got some other teams in there. They got some other teams in there to offer. But it's just very interesting that this could possibly suggest what the other conferences think about the survivability of the Big 12. Whether they think the Big 12 is going to last or not, or whether it's going to fall apart and these teams are just going to leave and join other conferences. The Big 12 will be fascinating to watch. It's going to be a lot of social climbing in the Big 12 in the next couple of years. Possibly months. This thing in a year from now could look completely different. Completely different. What I do know, though, is that the Sharks are circling, and the Big 12 is a bleeding man in water right now. And the Sharks, they can smell the blood. They are circling around. Now, we are entering a very chaotic time for the sport. Between NIL money, this push to expand the playoffs, and the lucrative TV contracts that all these conferences are getting, which the money, I got mixed feelings about the money in the sport, but it is what it is. This is the direction we're going, so we're just gonna have to deal with it and take the punches as they come. Now, what we need right now, possibly, is a commissioner. I've said it before, but we need a visionary. We need a Roger Goodell. We need a visionary like the late, great David Stern is who specifically comes to my mind. So David Stern, great visionary. Tragic, wish he was still alive, but he was a visionary. And he had a plan for the NBA, direction he wanted them to go, and that would take them to what they are today, and it was super successful. And I think we need a visionary with no conference allegiance, somebody who wants to come in and monitor the health of the sport overall, and not just the health of his conference or the health of his school. We need, so almost, I don't know who you would take, but somebody almost outside of the conferences, the Power 5 conferences, to step in and run the sport, essentially. Start telling universities, you do this, you do this, you do this, keeping them in line, keeping the conferences in line. And it's turning into the Wild West, people. It'll be very fascinating to see how this story develops and how the future of college football develops. But let me know in the comments below what you think. That's all I got for today. Deuces. Have a great day. And make sure to tell somebody you love them.